So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how we can maximize the use of ChatGPT. Actually, this is the premium version, ChatGPT 4.0. That's the most recent premium version as of June 2024. So with this version, you can do a lot when it comes to writing, generating images, generating CVs, generating codes for programming stuff, and then even data analysis, research, a lot more. And it's based on scripts, or let me say GPTs, AI that people have written and validated. And so we are able to use other people's GPTs they have created. And you as well can create a GPT for yourself based on instructions you give to the ChatGPT. It can memorize some of the random things you do always, and it can create a GPT out of that. But the focus of this video is to explain how you can use GPTs that other people have used. And for the purpose of this training, we'll be looking at the things we normally do in WordScript. So we'll be looking at how to use this GPT to generate a CV, how to use it to write a cover letter or write um, a statement of purpose for school application, and then how to use it to also write books, how to use it to transcribe a video or an audio from YouTube or from any source. And then finally, we would also be looking at how to um, use it to do a basic design or get a basic, design background or content. So, first of all, the the platform to explore the various GPTs that are available and how you can know that this GPT actually works. So for me, I just hit the explore GPT function, and you see a lot of GPTs here. These are GPTs that people have developed, and sometimes some institutions or companies. So we have the Mermaid Chat, Space for research, landing page creator from HubSpot. These are for social media marketing stuff. Then we have SQL expert for SQL operations and database management. We have the image generator to generate images, but I prefer using this to generate background stock or stock images so that you can use your Canva or any designing software to develop a better image, because normally this AI is still not developed well to generate very good or quality images. It has issues with text. When you have text on the image, normally you would have errors in that image. Then right for me for writing, Scholar GPT, Canva. Canva 2 can give you Canva templates that will lead you to Canva to develop further. We have the video GPT to develop videos. You can give it a script and it will develop a short skit for YouTube, for Instagram, TikTok, and stuff like that. We have the logo creator to generate logos for you. I've used this one before, and as I mentioned earlier, the images works fine, but the text bit of it is so poor. You give it a text and then it mixes up some of the words. It's still learning, and I believe that some of our feedback can help AI to get better by the day. So let's just do what we need to do normally for WordScript. So I'm starting with the writing bits. I'll just go to write for me, and this is a popular one I use, and this is how I validate whether the GPT is good enough, to explore. When you click on the GPT, you realize the rating here. This is a 4.2 rating. It has been rated by over 100,000 people, so it's a good start. At least 4.2 rating. It's number one in the charts of GPTs when it comes to writing in English. It has had about 5 million plus conversation. That makes it good. If every one of the 5 million conversations, people are giving feedback, it's helped it improve. And these are some of the conversation starters you can use on this GPT. Write me 1,000 word analysis on the future of GPT and it will do it. Write me 200 word product description for a red screwdriver. It will do it. So these are some examples of things you can do. And these capabilities, it has the DAL-E images browsing. It can browse websites and get contents for you, and can generate codes and interpret data, in data analysis. But some of the fault I've found with this is that sometimes if you ask it to browse certain websites, it's not able to retrieve the information. So it's best when you go to the website yourself, copy the information from the website and paste it in the chat here, and it will memorize or update it, and you can be questioning it or asking it to do whatever you need it to do for you. Certain other websites like blog pages or pages where direct text have been put on the website with few images, it's very easy to get the information from there. And so this helps very well in writing. And the references generated normally are valid, unlike the normal GPT that generates references, offhand. And sometimes many of the references you search it and it does not exist at all. So this is good for writing books, writing research papers, and and stuff like that. So let me start with the chat with that one. I'll hit the chat. So I am writing a book on. All right, so let's see how I prompt this GPT. I am writing a book on perfectionism, the thief of joy. The book should have about 12,000 words. So on the average, a page is about 120 words when you use about 14 points, right? Times New Roman or any of the formal writing fonts. So 12,000 is about 100 pages. The introductory part of the book will be a fictional story, and the subsequent four chapters of the book will discuss lesson points from the fictional story in the book. This book will be published on Amazon KDP, targeted at youth between the ages of 18 to 29 from US. Generate a table of contents for the five-chapter book with estimated number of words and subtitles making up 12,000 words in general. At the end of the book, the content of this book should be humanized enough to beat AI detection tools, and also create a more humanized and creative content, engaging enough for readers. So I want us to take note of some things. I've given it a title. I mean, if you don't have a title and want to write on anything, you can give it the general theme and give it a title. But the point is, I've given this GPT a detailed prompt. It has a title, it has a target market, a target people who are going to read the content. It has a target market for the book. It has a targeted number of words. So it helps it to become more defined. I've also prompted it to make the content more humanized so that it will not sound more like AI. So those are some of the tricks. However, if you should run your final work through an AI checker, you still find the AI anyway. It's just that, I mean, it helps when you have to do some little switches here and there so that it can beat AI detection. So just give it a prompt about this, or you can even go more detailed than I have done. But basically, you should give it a total number of works, a target you're working at, and then a target audience. Or you can tell it that you are a writer in the space of self-help books, or you're a writer in the space of etiquette, you're a writer in the space of law, so that the kind of examples and kind of things it will give you will be related to your space. So let's just give this prompt a go and let's see the content that is generated for us. So there's a table of contents, right? Normally, I would prefer to generate a table of content and start from the key lessons before generating the fictional story. But any way you do it, if you work around it very well, you should be able to generate your content. So here we have about 2,000 words from each chapter. The introduction, the tale of the perfect night, right? So I can just ask it to generate the introduction. I can just even copy and paste, making sure the word count is not less than 2,000 words for the target audience stated area. It has a memory of the prompt you have first given it, so you can just work around it. And here we go. It's generating, and it will generate till it reaches the 2,000 words. This one works. Great. So the 2,000 words is done. We have a story, beautiful story here. But I'll just copy this to Word to confirm if truly I have 2,000 words. So it's not all the times you would have exactly the same thing, but you should have something about that. And I've realized with this particular Write For Me GPT, um, the challenge is once it goes beyond 2,000 words, it becomes very difficult to generate. So it will stop at a point and can tell it to continue generation. So you just copy to your Word and then you can ask it to continue the generation for you. So now having this in my Google Docs, I'll just select and try and find out the number of words that I have there. So I'll head to tools and then check on the word counts. So I didn't have exactly 2,000 words, but I had 1,393 words. Still a little more than 1,000. So with this, you have an idea that if you prompt it to give you a 2,000 words, you're going to have about half of that or less than half of that. About half of that, a little more than half of that. So with this, it will guide you to write exactly the number of words that you need. So if I needed 12,000 worded page, I would rather instruct it to generate more than that. But normally with 12,000 words, by the time you are done with your um, editing and other stuff, you would have the 100 pages that you are looking for, adding your table of contents and other stuff to it. So that's about it with Write For Me GPT. We would be looking at the next thing. The next GPT we'll be exploring is the YouTube summarizer or YouTube transcriptor. So with this, if you have a sermon or a YouTube video you would want to turn or write into a book, we can still use this in collaboration with the Write For Me. And this is how we go about that. So we have two top ones here from the search that I did in the space of YouTube. This is by 100k plus users. This 50k plus. This 200k plus. This YouTube PDF book article web text code. So I'm going to choose the 100k plus, just as I mentioned. So the 100k means it has had over 100,000 conversations. It's number 12 in productivity. Is 3.9 star rating by 1,000 and plus people. So I'm going to hit this. These are the conversation starters. Can you summarize this YouTube video for me and just give it a link? So I'll start a chat and I'll hit this YouTube video. So I wanted to summarize my YouTube video. So can you summarize this YouTube video, which will be used for a book later on? It will analyze the YouTube video. Yes, always allow. It will analyze the YouTube video, get the transcript of the video, and then summarize it. If you ask it for a transcription, it will actually transcribe the whole video for you. It's just that after a number of words, the ChatGPT will stop and you have to ask it to continue generation. So here is the yes. Here is the summary of the videos: introduction, key scriptures, self-discovery, blah blah blah. So now I can just copy these contents and come back to Write For Me as a GPT and prompt it that I am writing a book. All right. So I've given us this prompt I'm writing a book on self-discovery from a YouTube live session I had during my mentorship program. Given the theme below generates a suitable title that will drive sales to this book on Amazon. The target market is Americans and European youth between the ages of 12 and 30. The total number of words for this book will be 24,000. Start by generating a 10 chapter table of content with a theme below, introduction. The session aims to help applicants, whatever. These are what was generated from the YouTube summarizer. So I just hit the send, then it will generate the table of content for me with a title, whatever. Book title suggestions. Finding your true self, a journey of self discovery and identity, uncovering your purpose. So the next thing I'll do is to search these things on Amazon to find out if people really have books with such title. If not, I just go ahead and choose one of them. And now with this table of contents that I have, I'm just going to develop my book. So this is how we can transcribe people's videos that are on YouTube into books. So if you have a man of God or you have a public speaker who has videos on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever it is, you can just get a link right into the ChatGPT, transcribe the video into text, use it to write your book. You can just get a summary and a write of it. But if it's something you are transcribing for the person, then you have to transcribe the video itself word for word, and that can be a lot of work because after transcribing, you have to read through, take out, the portions where there were breaks, the M's, the S's, and things like that. And that's a lot of work anyway. So I think we done with the session on writing books. It's the same with research. You can use it to generate content on research, but the other equally important GPTs you can use purposely for research. All right. So now let's look at the next GPT we'll be exploring. That's the CV writer because of the kind of work we do. So with a CV writer, you can have a format, you can have a CV, details from a client, maybe name, various roles the person has occupied, and things like that. And then you can ask the CV writer to write a CV for you, and you can actually go on to tell it to export it into a downloadable Word document for you. So let's do this. CV writer, there are a lot of them here. We have the CV writer, the CV expert, CV writer, CV resume, ATS optimizer. So you can explore whichever works for you. But based on what I said earlier, this is 100K plus users, 50K. So I'll go for the 100. It doesn't always mean that those ones are the best, but if people are using it, it means that it works for them. And it's the number 8 in writing. And this is generally in writing, including the one I used to write the book. So it tells you that, as this is not just for categories on CVs, anything writing. So it tells you the work, the one who developed it, number one in CV writing, blah blah blah. But this is just a description by the developer. So okay, so I'm going to copy my CV from Word and ask it to fine tune it. Fine tune my CV for an application to a particular job description. So I'm asking it to fine tune my CV for a role as assistant lecturer in a technical institution, and then I've given it my CV. So I just hit go. It's going to generate a CV for me. Yeah, my education, thesis. It generates a very nice CV for me. And when it's done, I'm going to ask it to put this in Word format. Good. It's done. So I'm going to ask it to export this CV to a downloadable Word document for me. And I can equally copy and paste it in Word. But feeling lazy here now, so I'm going to export this into a Word document. We'll analyze it for a while, and it'll come up with a link where you can download your Word document CV. Okay, it's just taking too long to get this done. However, you can use it. It would analyze it for a while and then give you a link to download. So now let's use the same GPT to draft a cover letter. So this is how I prompt it. Write a cover letter in addition to my CV, certificates, and other relevant documents for application as assistant lecturer part-time at the Kumasi Technical University. Address the letter to registrar human resource. This is just for tutorial purposes anyway. I'm not applying. Or maybe I should think of considering that. Okay, so I just hit the send and let's see what we have. So this is a detailed cover letter. Can ask it to fine tune it to maybe at most 120 words, just so that it fits into one page document. So that's with drafting a CV or cover letter using ChatGPT. We'll move on to the last bit of this tutorial, which will explore how we can develop images with ChatGPT. So that as well, we'll go to explore GPTs and then we'll look for image generating GPTs. So here we are with the image generating GPTs. I will use this one, image generator. It's been used by 6 million plus people with 3.6 star rating. So let's start. I want you to design a book cover, a plain background, or let me say design a background for a book cover, and I'll give it the theme. So this is how I prompt it. Design a background for a book cover on perfectionism, the thief of joy. Do not include any text, but I want three different templates to choose from using a color scheme of blue and orange. I want the top part to about half of it to be dark enough or blur to host the title later on. Let's see what it generates for us. It will analyze for a while, and then after it's done loading, you would have three AI generated images. Quite unfortunate, I didn't get what I needed, so I'll ask it to generate again. Generate three separate images without text. I just need the background images. So it will regenerate. I don't want the text. As I mentioned earlier, you can see perfectionism is not spelled well. The thief of joy, not spelled well. And those are the shortcomings. It's still trying to generate. So I'll prompt it further to get just the background that I need. All right. So it's been back and forth trying to get the right prompt for it. So this is the final one I settled on. I have a book titled Perfectionism, the Thief of Joy. Generate three background templates I can use to develop my book cover. So I have this one, I have that, and I have this. So any of them that works for you, you can keep on prompting it and then use it. I think I may choose this. So I'll just download it and I have that I can upload into Canva and use for whatever to use it for. Right. So that will end our tutorial for today. It's been long and it's getting boring, but this is just a few GPTs that we have been exposed to. There are a lot more. Can explore them. Some on research, some to even develop video skits for you, but you would have the AI voice in the way. But then you can just use it to be generating a lot of content for your social media handles, especially now that um, we are driving towards monetization of these social handles. So let's maximize the use of the ChatGPT. Thank you.